Hello, everyone. This is Ben Dunn, founder of Anarchic Press, a small publishing company established in 1985. Creator of such comics as Warrior Nun, Ninja High School, Mighty Tiny, Tomorrow Girl, Warrior, Marvel Mangaverse, and a host of other comics. Um, uh, you know, there are a lot of creators who seem unhappy with what they're doing, especially in comics. Uh, Frankly, I don't understand why. It seems to me that working in comics should be the most fun experience any creator should have. I've been doing comics since 1984. My first professional paid gig was a comic called Bloody Bones and Black Eyed Peas, #1, which was done by a small publisher located in San Antonio called Galaxy Comics. Now, Galaxy Comics was an interesting company because it was run by this guy who knew Pat Boyette, and they were trying to create a comic book company, back then. And I guess he had heard of me, and I guess he could hire me for cheap. And at that time, I was willing to do anything for practically nothing, because I was trying to establish myself, and I would take any work that came down my way, I would happily do it. I spit my all. But nowadays, I see a lot of creators who seem unhappy with the comics industry. And why is that? Why are they unhappy? I'm not saying everyone is, but it seems like all I really hear about is complaining, how doom and gloom, how this sucks, that sucks, nobody's doing good comics anymore. I often wonder, what the heck are you doing in comics? If you're that unhappy in comics, which should be one of the most joyous occupations that one could ever have, honestly. Like I said, I've been doing it since 1984, and I enjoy every day I am doing comics. I look forward to what I'm going to create today. I'll look at a blank piece of paper and I'll say, what world shall I create? What character should I draw? What story should I tell? And I always look forward with positivity, enthusiasm, energy. Oh yeah, I'll grant you. There are days where I just don't, I don't feel like drawing today. I want to do something different. And just like any work, you're going to take a little break every now and then. Recharge the batteries. Get that energy flowing again. Nothing is more satisfying than completing a project. You worked at it, worked hard at it. You see it come to fruition. You see it completed, and then you finally see it printed. I often wonder why anybody would want to work in a job that, they're unhappy with. It's really, really odd to me. I think there's a saying, could be, not quoting it correctly, but they say that you love what you do and you never have to work again. That's just, so true. So what is it really that is making creators unhappy? It's hard for me to get into the mindset of a creator who doesn't seem to be satisfied with what's going on in the industry. For me personally, I don't understand that mindset. It just makes no sense to me. Like I said, I love comics. Always have, always will. Till the day I die. They're going to find me slumped over on my drawing desk with a pen in hand saying, man, he died doing what he loved. That's what I hope they find me. I will keep drawing comics till I can no longer do it. Because I love it so much. And I can't think of myself doing anything else. If the whole comic industry were to collapse, I'd find some other work to pay the bills, but I'd still be doing comics. Because it brings so much joy to me personally. And it seems at odds to me that any creator who's doing something like a comic book is not happy with it. What the heck are they doing in comics? There are people who have jobs that they can't stand. It's not fulfilling. It doesn't meet their potential. The hours are long. The pay sucks. I get it. I used to have a regular job, and I absolutely hated it. But I did it because that's what paid the bills at the time. I'll tell you honestly, it didn't last very long. I had a regular job, and it was probably the worst experience I've ever had, and it made me even more determined to do comics because that is my first love. People say, oh yeah, you're lucky, you get to do what you want. No, maybe a little bit of luck, but to be honest, it's work like anything else. The thing is, you have to enjoy the work. If you don't enjoy the work, then it's work. That's all it is. So, I say to my fellow creators, stop complaining, man. Stop being such a prima donna. Stop being such, a whiny little whatever. In the people who are complaining about the comic industry, if you don't like it, then what the heck are you doing? Stop reading comics. Spend your money on something else. I don't understand why you'd want to keep buying something that you despise. It doesn't make any sense. Comics are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be enjoyed. They're supposed to take you away from the mundane, the everyday. It's supposed to transport you into a world unlike anything else. That's what comics are supposed to do. They're supposed to take you to places you normally couldn't go. It's supposed to ignite the imagination of the reader. If your comic entertains, then you've accomplished your job. And you should be happy with that. The thing is that I can't think of no other occupation, in the creative arts that's so simple and so satisfying at the same time. What does it take really to make a comic? A story, piece of paper, something to draw with. Voila! You have a comic. You're limited only by your imagination. You're not limited by budget. You're not limited by, a time, unless you're on a deadline, which I often am. But you can spend as long as you want to do a comic book. It can take you years. There are artists who have spent years on comics. Some comics have been in production than movies. You would think that with all the complexities of making a movie, that it would take a shorter amount of time to do a comic than to make a movie, but not always the case. So, I ask before, if you're a new creator, be prepared to want to create. Be prepared for all the pitfalls, the obstacles, and things like that will get in your way toward your dream of making a comic book. There are going to be people who are going to be detractors, who are going to say you have no chance, that you have, no one understands what you're doing. And I say to them, be gone. I do not need you to stand in my way. Because in the end, it's just how much you value somebody else's opinion that will affect how you proceed with your creative endeavor. You know? And for those creators who are unhappy, well, find something that makes you happy. Don't continue to do something that gives you misery, you know, makes you loathe the day. You know, it just makes no sense. Find something else that will make you happy. You know, if maybe your calling is to do telemarketing or to brain surgery or, you know, fix old cars, you know, or be a YouTube influencer. You know, that if that makes you happy, then that's what you should do. You know. So I mean, it just really comes down to, you know, what satisfies you as a creator. You know, it makes no sense for you to whine and complain, you know. And I especially hate when other creators attack other creators, you know. I will never do that. I will never, ever directly attack another creator. I may criticize their work. I have the right to do that, you know. But I'll never criticize the creator, you know, because I think that's, I have no right to do it, to be honest. You know, who am I to say, you know, this creator is not up to snuff, you know, or that his work is subpar, you know, or it's awful. You know, I don't have that right, you know, and I will refuse to do so because that is just not in my nature to criticize other artists, because every artist is unique. We're like snowflakes, you know, and my my creations, my style, that's unique to me, you know, and that's I like to think it that way. So it's you know, one of those things where I just make a decision like that because I just choose not to create drama. It's just not conducive. It's not positive. It's not helpful. You know, if you're not you know, if you're not helpful, you know, if you're not contributing anything, then you're part of the problem. You know, are you a problem? You know, ask yourself, are you the problem? Is why the industry is right now because of our own doing? You know, we do not acknowledge that maybe, you know, our attitude is contributing to the malaise, you know, to the negativity, you know, to the shrinking of this great American comic industry. I mean, I say great because it is great. You know, the American comic industry was born here. You know, it was nurtured here. It grew here. You know, and for the detractors who say, "Oh, it's dying. It's going away," you know, I've heard that before. You know, the thing is that if you have a negative attitude towards things, it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, you think that, you know, if there's doom and gloom along the horizon, well, I mean, what do you expect? I choose to take the path of light. You know, I want to see the comic industry thrive. I want it to succeed. I'm doing everything within my power, you know, to keep it afloat, you know, to keep it positive, you know, to produce work on a timely, you know, schedule, you know, of good quality, you know, and basically to entertain our readers and our fans. Because to me, that's who we should make happy. And if you're making your fans and your readers happy, then I'm happy, you know, because I'm doing something, you know, that brings joy to other people. And, you know, there's nothing more satisfying, at least in my opinion, of bringing joy to other people. You know, I mean, what good is it to bring misery to other people, to bring negativity, you know, to bring other people down? You know, why would you want to do that? What benefit is it to you, you know, to do that unless you feel somehow empowered by that. Somehow you feel like you have a superiority complex, that you're better, than others, that you feel that even though we're all supposed to be equal, that somehow you're elevated above that, that somehow, you feel like you're so much above everyone else that only your opinion matters. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, we in the comic industry have a talent that a lot of people don't have. And somehow that gives us carte blanche to somehow feel superior to others. Well, I hate to break it to you, you're not. You're human just like anybody else. And you should treat people like humans. You should treat people with respect. You should treat people, with kindness, politeness. You should always listen to what other people have to say, no matter what. You have to do that because it's just the right thing to do. So anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest, so to speak. And let's try to see a little bit more positivity in comics. Let's try to build the comic industry. Let's try to work together to make it thrive. To make, to not only bring financial, but personal success. And who knows? Maybe that just might happen. So, if you like what you've heard, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I read your comments. I do like reading them and seeing what you have to say. I do have a campaign going called Mighty Tiny on Kickstarter. It's a all ages anthropomorphic steampunk adventure. Only a few days left. And until next time, this has been Dunn, signing off.